Healing is not just about the body, it transforms your mind, soul, and spirit. So many of us have been conditioned to think of healing only in the physical sense, as if it is merely about recovering from an illness or overcoming a physical limitation. But true, profound healing goes much deeper than that. It touches the very essence of who we are, reaching into the corners of our mind where fear and doubt hide, into the chambers of our soul where pain and past wounds linger, and into the spirit that longs for peace, freedom, and wholeness. Healing is a holistic journey, one that requires us to acknowledge every part of ourselves, even the parts we often try to ignore. It requires courage because healing is to confront what has hurt us, to face the memories and experiences that have shaped us, and to bring light to places that have remained in darkness for far too long. When we speak of healing, many people immediately think of doctors, medicine, or treatments. But the truth is that while these are important, they are only part of the equation. Real healing begins from within. It begins when we allow ourselves to feel, to grieve, to release, and to forgive. When we stop resisting the process and stop trying to control every outcome, we create space for transformation to occur. Our minds, when burdened with worry, anxiety, and negative thoughts, can prevent the body from fully recovering. Our soul, when weighed down by bitterness, resentment, or past trauma, can hold us captive in cycles of pain. And our spirit, when disconnected from hope and faith, can feel powerless to overcome anything. But when all these elements align and we commit to the journey of holistic healing, miracles begin to happen. Healing is also a process of reclaiming our identity. Often, illness, trauma, or difficult experiences can make us feel small, weak, or unworthy. We start to define ourselves by what we have endured instead of who we truly are. But healing transforms that narrative. It reminds us that we are more than our struggles, more than our pains, and more than the labels others or even we ourselves have placed upon us. It reconnects us with our purpose, our strength, and our inherent worth. It allows us to see that every scar, every wound, and every challenge we have faced is not a mark of defeat, but a testament to our resilience and our capacity to rise again. When we open ourselves to the full scope of healing, we begin to notice subtle shifts in our daily lives. We find peace in moments that once brought anxiety, clarity in decisions that once caused confusion, and joy in places that once felt empty. Our relationships transform because we are no longer projecting our pain onto others. Instead, we approach them with empathy, understanding, and a renewed sense of love. Our work, our passions, and even our spiritual practices gain a new depth as we move from survival to thriving, from simply existing to truly living. This is why healing cannot be compartmentalized. It is not just a remedy for the body, it is an awakening of the entire self. Many people resist healing because it feels uncomfortable. Facing our inner wounds can be painful, and letting go of old patterns requires effort, patience, and trust in the process. But the discomfort is temporary and the reward is eternal. Healing teaches us patience, self-compassion, and perseverance. It teaches us to listen to our inner voice, to trust our instincts, and to honor our emotions without judgment. It is an invitation to embrace our vulnerability as a source of strength rather than weakness. When we approach healing with openness, we not only recover what was lost, but we also discover capacities within ourselves that we never knew existed. Healing is transformative because it shifts our perspective on life itself. What once seemed unbearable becomes manageable, what once seemed impossible becomes attainable, and what once felt like an ending becomes a new beginning. It reminds us that life is not about avoiding pain, but about learning to navigate it with grace, courage, and faith. It reminds us that our mind, soul, and spirit are intricately connected, and that true wellness comes when all three are in harmony. Every act of healing, no matter how small, is a declaration that we are worthy of love, peace, and wholeness. It is a reminder that no matter what we have been through, we have the power to rise, to renew, and to transform our lives from the inside out. If you want, I can expand Keynote Note 2 next into 700, 800 words in the same style. So your speech flows seamlessly with all 6 keynotes. Do you want me to do that? You said Keynote Note Point 2, expanded into 700 words. Don't add ending sentences. Don't add any hatings. ChatGPT said absolutely. Here's Keynote No 2 expanded into 700 words in Dr. Rena Malik's motivational style. As requested, the pain you carry today does not define your future. This is a truth that so many of us struggle to fully grasp, because when we are in the midst of suffering, when our hearts are heavy and our minds are overwhelmed with doubt, it is easy to feel as though this pain is permanent, as though it is a label that will forever follow us. But the reality is that pain is not who you are. It is not your identity, nor does it have the power to dictate the destiny that God or the universe or life itself has prepared for you. The pain you experience is a teacher, a guide, and a challenge, but is not the final chapter of your story. It is a moment in time, not a life sentence. And the moment you understand this, the moment you begin to truly believe it, is the moment your journey toward transformation begins. Too often, we allow past failures, heartbreaks, disappointments, and losses to define our self-worth. We replay the moments that hurt us in our minds, reliving every word, every action, and every circumstance as though they are the sum total of our existence. We carry the weight of what happened yesterday into every decision today, and in doing so, we limit our ability to see the possibilities that lie ahead. But the truth is, pain is temporary, and your capacity to heal, grow, and thrive is infinite. What happened to you does not dictate who you are. It simply shapes the strength and resilience that you have cultivated along the way. Every hardship, every trial, every tear that has fallen is evidence that you have survived, and survival is the foundation upon which your future is built. Understanding that your pain does not define you begins with perspective. It begins with a conscious decision to look beyond the present moment and to see the bigger picture. It is easy to focus only on what has been lost, on what has gone wrong, or on what seems impossible to overcome. But when you shift your focus to what can be gained, to the lessons hidden in every struggle, to the potential for growth and renewal, a new reality begins to emerge. Your pain becomes not a barrier, but a bridge that connects you to wisdom, empathy, and strength that you might never have discovered otherwise. Each trial is an opportunity to learn, to expand, and to prepare for the blessings that are waiting for you on the other side. Another essential aspect of understanding that pain does not define your future is embracing self-compassion. It is common to judge ourselves harshly for our suffering, to feel ashamed for being hurt, or to blame ourselves for circumstances beyond our control. But true healing requires gentleness. It requires treating yourself with the same love, patience, and understanding that you would extend to someone you care about deeply. When you nurture yourself during difficult times, when you allow yourself to acknowledge your emotions without judgment, you reclaim power over your own stories. You recognize that while the pain may be present, it is not permanent, and it does not diminish your inherent value or your ability to create a life filled with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. Faith also plays a crucial role in this transformation. Whether your faith is in God, in a higher power, or in the universe, trusting that there is a plan for your life beyond the pain is vital. Faith gives you the strength to endure when the road is difficult, to persevere when hope feels distant, and to believe in the unseen possibilities that lie ahead. It reminds you that you are not alone, that your struggles have meaning, and that your future is not determined by the trials you face today. Every challenge is temporary, but the lessons, resilience, and growth that come from overcoming it are everlasting. Finally, understanding that your pain does not define your future requires actions. It requires a commitment to move forward, to heal, and to embrace the opportunities before you. This does not mean that the journey will be easy. It will take courage, patience, and persistence. But with each step you take, each decision you make to rise above your circumstances, you reclaim your life. You redefine what is possible, you rewrite your story, and you demonstrate to yourself that the person you are becoming is far greater than the pain you have endured. Pain is a chapter, not the entire book. And the moment you choose to turn the page, a new world of possibility opens before you, full of hope, purpose, and transformation. If you want, I can expand Keynote No. 3 next into 700-800 words so your speech continues seamlessly in Dr. Rena Malik style. You said Keynote No. 3 expand it into 700 words. Don't add ending sentences. Don't add any hatings. ChatGPT said absolutely. Here's Keynote No. 3 expanded into 700 words in Dr. Rena Malik's motivational style. As requested, true healing begins when you open your heart to receive it. So often we approach life carrying walls around our hearts, protecting our ourselves from pain, rejection, and disappointment, believing that if we guard ourselves carefully enough, we will never be hurt again. But in doing so, we also block the very thing we are seeking: the love, peace, and restoration that can only come when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. Healing is not something that can be forced or earned. It is something that must be received, and receiving requires openness, courage, and faith. When we open our hearts, we create space for transformation to enter, for miracles to unfold, and for the fullness of life to reach us in ways that we could never have imagined. Opening your heart begins with trust. Not trust in people, circumstances, or outcomes, but trust in the process of life itself, in the divine timing of events, and in the innate wisdom within you. It is the decision to believe that no matter what has happened, no matter what pain or loss you have experienced, you are worthy of receiving the healing and restoration you desire. Many times, our hearts remain closed because we feel unworthy or because we have been hurt in the past. We think that if we let ourselves feel, if we let ourselves believe, we will only be disappointed again. But true healing requires the courage to take that leap, to risk hope even when fear tells us to give up. It is in this openness, in this willingness to surrender, that transformation begins to take root. When you open your heart, you also open the door to forgiveness. Forgiveness is not about condoning what has been done to you or forgetting the pain that has been inflicted. Rather, it is about releasing the hold that resentment, anger, and bitterness have on your soul. Carrying these burdens closes your heart, blocks your energy, and prevents you from experiencing the fullness of healing. By choosing to forgive, whether it is forgiving others, forgiving circumstances, or even forgiving yourself, you free your heart from the chains of the past and allow the healing energy of love, peace, and restoration to flow through you. Forgiveness is a radical act of self-love, a conscious choice to prioritize your own well-being over the weight of unresolved pains. Opening your heart also requires awareness and presence. It is about truly seeing and feeling your emotions without judgment, without suppression, and without denial. Many of us are conditioned to push our feelings aside, to hide our vulnerabilities, and to present a facade of strength while quietly carrying sorrow within. But healing cannot occur when we ignore our inner truth. By acknowledging our emotions, naming our pain, and allowing ourselves to experience it fully, we create a powerful shift within. We validate our own humanity, we honor our journey, and we invite the energy of transformation to enter spaces that have long been neglected or wounded. Another essential element of opening the heart is gratitude. It may seem counterintuitive to focus on gratitude while experiencing pain, but the simple act of recognizing the blessings that remain in your life creates a vibration that attracts more healing, joy, and restoration. Gratitude opens the heart because it shifts your perspective from lack to abundance, from fear to hope, and from despair to faith. When you cultivate gratitude, even in the smallest moments, you invite a powerful current of positive energy that reinforces the healing process and strengthens your connection to the divine source of life. Finally, opening your heart is a commitment to vulnerability and authenticity. It is a declaration that you are willing to step into life fully, without hiding, without pretending, and without the fear of being hurt. It is a recognition that the more you allow yourself to be seen and known, the more profoundly you can experience love, joy, and restoration. When your heart is open, healing is no longer a distant possibility. It becomes a living reality, flowing through every aspect of your being. You begin to notice shifts not only within yourself, but also in your relationships, your work, and your interactions with the world around you. The openness of your heart becomes a magnet for blessings, miracles, and transformation that touches every dimension of your life, from the physical and emotional to the mental and spiritual. True healing begins not with external remedies, not with answers from others, but with the simple yet profound act of opening your heart. It is the willingness to let go, to trust, to forgive, to feel, and to embrace life with courage and faith. The moment you open your heart fully, you step into the flow of divine healing, and everything begins to change in ways that are both subtle and extraordinary. If you want, I can expand Keynote No. 4 next into 700-800 words, keeping the same empowering Dr. Rena Malik style so your speech stays cohesive and highly motivational. You said, Keynote No. Point 4 expanded into 700 words. Don't add ending sentences. Don't add any hatings. ChatGPT said absolutely. Here's Keynote No. 4 expanded into 700 words in Dr. Rena Malik's motivational style. As requested, every setback, every struggle is preparing you for your breakthrough. Life is not a straight line, and often the moments that feel like failures or disappointments are the very experiences that are shaping you for the greatest victories of your life. Too often, we look at hardship as something to avoid, something to fear, or something that diminishes our worth. But in reality, every challenge, every obstacle, and every painful experience carries within it a hidden gift. These moments are not the end of your story. They are the preparation, the refining, and the training ground for the incredible breakthroughs that await you. What may feel like a delay, a detour, or even a defeat is, in fact, a necessary step toward the life you are meant to live. Struggles test our resilience. They push us beyond our comfort zones, force us to confront our fears, and challenge us to grow in ways we might not have considered. When you face difficulty, it is easy to become discouraged, to feel as though the universe is against you, or to question why this is happening to you. But these trials are not punishments. They are opportunities. Every time you endure a challenge, every time you rise after being knocked down, you build strength, wisdom, and perseverance. The person you are becoming through struggle is far greater than the person you were before. Setbacks are shaping your character, fortifying your spirit, and teaching you lessons that cannot be learned any other way. Breakthroughs are rarely immediate. They often require patience, faith, and persistent efforts. It is tempting to give up when results are not visible, when the progress feels slow, or when the road seems long and uncertain. But it is precisely in these moments of struggle that your breakthrough is being quietly prepared. Imagine a seed planted in the dark soil of the earth. For a time, nothing seems to happen. The seed is hidden, the growth invisible, and yet beneath the surface, powerful forces are at work. The roots are deepening, the stem is strengthening, and the life within is preparing to emerge. Your struggles are like that seed. They are silent, unseen, and often uncomfortable. But they are working to cultivate your breakthrough in ways you cannot yet comprehend. Every struggle also teaches you valuable lessons about yourself. You discover your inner strength, your capacity for endurance, and your ability to adapt to circumstances that once seemed impossible. You learn to trust yourself, to listen to your intuition, and to rely on the resilience that resides within you. Each setback is a mirror, reflecting areas that require growth, patience, or a shift in perspective. While it may be painful in the moment, this reflection is a necessary part of your journey. It allows you to identify what truly matters, to release what no longer serves you, and to prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, and spiritually for the breakthrough that is coming. Struggles also cultivate gratitude and humility. When life is easy and everything flows without challenge, it is easy to take blessings for granted. But when we face adversity, we begin to appreciate the victories, no matter how small. We recognize the value of perseverance, the importance of faith, and the power of resilience. Struggles remind us that nothing worth achieving comes without effort, and they teach us to celebrate progress, courage, and growth in ways that would not be possible if life were always smooth and comfortable. It is important to remember that setbacks are not permanent. What feels like failure today can become the foundation for tomorrow's success. Every closed door, every no, every obstacle you encounter is redirecting you toward the path that is aligned with your purpose. The universe has a way of orchestrating events in your life so that what once seemed like a setback is actually a stepping stone to something far greater. Your struggles are not wasted. They are the training ground for your triumphs, the preparation for your breakthroughs, and the proof that you are capable of rising above any circumstance. Every setback, every struggle carries a hidden purpose. It is shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for the moment when your breakthrough will arrive. And when it comes, it will not be by accident. It will be the result of every challenge you endured, every lesson you learned, and every moment you refused to give up. Your struggles are not signs of defeat. They are the quiet, powerful, and necessary preparation for the life you were always meant to live. If you want, I can expand keynote no. It's 5 next into 700, 800 words so your speech remains fully cohesive in Dr. Rena Malik style. You said keynote no point 5 expanded into 700 words. Don't add ending sentences. Don't add any hatings. ChatGPT said absolutely. Here's keynote no. 5 expanded into 700 words in Dr. Rena Malik's motivational style. As requested, faith, hope, and belief are the first steps toward miraculous change. These 3 forces are not just words, they are the foundation of every transformation, the pillars upon which breakthroughs are built, and the invisible energy that propels us from where we are to where we are meant to be. Many people underestimate the power of faith, hope, and belief, thinking that they are abstract concepts or mere wishes. But in truth, they are active forces that shape our reality, guide our decisions, and create the conditions for miracles to occur. Without faith, we cannot move forward with confidence. Without hope, we cannot endure the challenges along the way. And without belief, we cannot fully embrace the possibilities that life has in store for us. Faith is the first and most crucial step. Faith is the unwavering trust that something greater is at work in your life, even when circumstances seem bleak, when the road is uncertain, or when the answers you seek are not yet visible. Faith is not blind, it is informed by the recognition that your journey has purpose, that challenges are temporary, and that you are capable of overcoming whatever comes your way. When you cultivate faith, you anchor yourself in a sense of certainty that transcends fear, doubt, and limitation. Faith allows you to take action, even when the path ahead is unclear, because you trust that the universe, God, or the divine plan is guiding you toward your highest good. Hope is the companion of faith. It is the light that shines in the darkness, the belief that better days are ahead, and the expectation that your life can and will change for the better. Hope is what fuels resilience when obstacles arise, what motivates persistence when results are delayed, and what reminds you that your current circumstances do not determine your destiny. Without hope, even the strongest faith can waver, because the mind becomes consumed with fear, doubt, and despair. But with hope, you are able to envision a future beyond the struggle, to imagine the life you desire, and to hold onto the belief that change is not only possible, but inevitable when you align with the forces of healing and transformation. Belief is the bridge between faith, hope, and manifestation. Belief is the conscious decision to internalize your faith and hope, to truly own them as part of who you are, and to act in alignment with the truths you hold. Belief shapes your thoughts, your actions, and your energy. It programs your mind to recognize opportunities, to overcome obstacles, and to respond to challenges with confidence rather than fear. When you believe in the possibility of change, in the power of healing, and in your own capacity to transform, you create a magnetic force that draws the right circumstances, people, and resources into your life. Belief transforms abstract ideas into tangible reality, turning dreams into lived experience. Faith, hope, and belief are not passive states, they are active practices. They require daily nurturing, conscious intention, and repetition. You cultivate them by speaking words of affirmation, by visualizing the life you desire, by surrounding yourself with positivity, and by rejecting thoughts and narratives that contradict your vision. Each small act of faith, each flicker of hope, and each moment of belief strengthens the energetic foundation upon which miracles are built. Over time, these practices shift your perception, recalibrate your mind, and prepare you to receive the transformative power that is already waiting for you. Moreover, faith, hope, and belief are deeply interconnected. Faith without hope can feel rigid and stagnant. Hope without belief can feel fragile and fleeting, and belief without faith can feel disconnected and uncertain. When all 3 are cultivated together, they create a harmonious, unstoppable force capable of breaking through limitations, healing wounds, and opening doors that once seemed closed. They provide the clarity, courage, and resilience necessary to navigate life's challenges while remaining anchored in the certainty that positive change is coming. These forces are especially powerful in moments of adversity. When you face loss, heartbreak, illness, or uncertainty, faith, hope, and belief serve as anchors. They remind you that your current situation is temporary, that your life has purpose, and that you are equipped to handle whatever comes your way. They inspire action when fear tempts you to remain stagnant. They bring light to moments of darkness, and they sustain your spirit when the world seems to conspire against your progress. They are the unseen allies that support every step of your journey toward healing, success, and fulfillment. Faith, hope, and belief are not optional. They are essential. They are the catalysts that transform intention into reality, suffering into strength, and dreams into tangible outcomes. When you embrace them fully, when you commit to nurturing them daily, you align yourself with the flow of life's miraculous possibilities. They are the first steps, the foundation, and the guiding light that will carry you toward the healing and transformation that your heart has been longing for. If you want, I can expand Keynote No. 6 next into 700-800 words, so your motivational speech will have a powerful, complete conclusion in Dr. Rena Malik's signature style. You said, it's Keynote No. 6, expand it into 700 words, don't add ending sentences, don't add any hatings. ChatGPT said absolutely! Here's Keynote No. 6 expanded into 700 words in Dr. Rena Malik's motivational style, as requested. Your life can change the moment you choose to embrace this healing. Too often, we wait for external circumstances to shift before we allow ourselves to believe in the possibility of transformation. We wait for the right time, the right conditions, or the right people to align before we take that crucial step toward change. But the truth is, the power to transform your life has always been within you. The moment you choose to embrace healing fully, completely, without hesitation, you open the door to a reality that is profoundly different from the one you have known. Healing is not just an event. It is a conscious choice, a decision to release what no longer serves you, and a commitment to step into the fullness of your potential. Embracing healing begins with awareness. It begins with recognizing that your current state, whether it is one of pain, struggle, or limitation, does not have to define your future. Every day, you have the opportunity to choose differently, to break free from old patterns, and to welcome the transformation that is waiting for you. Many people resist this choice because it requires courage, vulnerability, and trust. It requires the willingness to face discomfort, to release fear, and to let go of the familiar, even when the familiar has been painful. But the moment you decide to embrace healing, you are no longer a passive participant in your life. You become an active creator of your destiny, empowered to shape your reality in ways that align with your deepest desires. The power of embracing healing is that it shifts your entire perspective. When you choose to step into healing, you begin to see yourself differently, your circumstances differently, and your potential differently. You recognize that the obstacles that once seemed insurmountable are opportunities for growth, that the pain you have endured has prepared you for resilience, and that the challenges you face are temporary stepping stones toward a greater purpose. Healing transforms your mindset, rewiring your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs so that you no longer view life through the lens of limitation, doubt, or fear. Instead, you begin to see the possibilities, the opportunities, and the abundance that have always been available to you, waiting for you to claim them. Embracing healing also requires surrender. Surrender is not about giving up or resigning yourself to a passive existence. It is about releasing control, trusting the process, and allowing the forces of life, faith, or the universe to work on your behalf. It is about acknowledging that you do not have to carry the weight of your struggles alone, and that when you open yourself to receive healing, transformative energy flows freely through every aspect of your being. Surrender allows you to move beyond resistance, to release old wounds, and to step fully into the reality that you were always meant to live. Action is a critical part of embracing healing. While faith, intention, and openness are essential, transformation also requires movement. Every choice you make, every step you take toward wholeness reinforces your commitment to change. Small actions, choosing forgiveness over resentment, gratitude over bitterness, hope over despair, create momentum, building the foundation for profound transformations. Each decision to align with healing energy strengthens your capacity to receive and amplifies the positive shifts in your life. Transformation is not passive. It is an ongoing process that demands courage, commitment, and consistent effort. Embracing healing also impacts the people around you. When you choose to step into wholeness, you radiate energy that inspires others, uplifts relationships, and transforms environments. your healing becomes contagious, creating ripples that extend far beyond your own life. Those around you begin to witness what is possible when one chooses to rise above limitations, to release the past, and to embrace the fullness of life. In this way, your decision to heal is not just personal, it becomes a source of inspiration, empowerment, and hope for everyone you encounter. Finally, embracing healing transforms your relationship with yourself. It allows you to recognize your inherent worth, to honor your journey, and to reclaim the power that has always been within you. You begin to see that you are not defined by mistakes, pain, or setbacks, but by your capacity to rise, to learn, and to transform. Each moment you commit to healing is a declaration that you are deserving of love, joy, abundance, and purpose. Your life can change the instant you make this choice, because healing is not just about the past. It is about stepping fully into the life you were always meant to live, here and now.